Welcome to Personal Trust's June 2020 quarterly commentary.
Greetings, everyone. This is a report back on the quarterly performance for the Personal Trust Conservative Managed Fund and the Personal Trust Managed Fund. I'm delighted to be able to report that both funds delivered positive returns for the quarter. Both were just over 3%. And the primary reason for that is that our offshore assets did very well. Offshore equity, offshore bonds, and offshore cash delivered double-digit positive returns for the fund. On the local side, local bonds did better than local equities. Local equities scraped out a marginally positive return, having been down dramatically at one stage during the quarter. Bonds did better than equities, and we've got a significant overweight position in bonds, which also would have helped us during the course of this quarter. And the other thing that we got right was we had very little property going into this this meltdown that we saw during the quarter, and property on the index was down just over 30%, and we had very little. So we did very well by having very little, but we also did, I think, reasonably well by buying pretty close to the bottom and increasing our exposure quite dramatically about 6-8 weeks ago. So I think that the quarter really was characterized by bonds being reasonably safe over the total quarter, but during the quarter there was a massive sell-off which we were able to take advantage of and increase our exposure. Offshore equity did reasonably well again over the whole quarter, but also there was a significant sell-off in the first few weeks of the quarter, and we were able to increase our exposure there. I didn't increase the exposure to local equity with the benefit of hindsight. That was a mistake, because local equities has done pretty well in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks. But I'm unconvinced that the self-inflicted carnage that we're creating in our economy, I don't see that it's going to be very good for company earnings growth for quite some time to come. It was also very important to avoid SOE debt in portfolios, and I think clients and certainly trust officers will know that we've had absolutely no exposure to SOEs. Eskom, Transnet, AXA, any of these companies that have been appallingly run under our government. So we have no exposure there. One's got to be a little bit careful of the income funds. Quite a lot of them have got exposure to land bank and these things, so it's a bit of a problem, but our funds have absolutely no exposure whatsoever to SOEs. Going forward, we're reasonably conservatively positioned. We have slightly underweight positions in equity relative to our benchmark. We significantly overweight bonds. I like bonds. I think bonds giving us in excess of 10% yields look to me to be very attractive. We're retaining a dollar cash weighting against that just as a hedge. So we're getting the 10% on the bonds, but if there is some return of inflation in the future, we've got the dollar cash which will help us. We've increased the property, as I said, during the quarter. We increased the bonds during the quarter. And I'm happy that we're comfortably positioned. If we get an ongoing rally in the markets, the funds will do reasonably well, but perhaps lag the benchmark. If we get another setback for whatever reason, then I think the funds will comfortably outperform the benchmark again. So stay safe, everybody. We hope that this virus eases off, although all indications are that particularly for us here in the Western Cape, we're going to be going into a very tricky and difficult period over the next few weeks. So all the best and good luck.